men looked out of prison bars. One saw mud, the other stars. Your life has surprisingly little to do with your circumstances and everything to do with your focus. We see many examples in best-selling books and movies of people in various circumstances who maintained a positive outlook on life despite harsh conditions. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, demonstrated that even in extreme suffering, people can sustain hope and meaning by choosing their attitude and finding purpose beyond their circumstances. Corrie ten Boom, who was arrested and sent to a concentration camp after helping many others escape Nazis by hiding them in their home, showed that faith, forgiveness, and compassion can persist even in the face of profound injustice. Louis Zamperini, an Olympian who survived a plane crash and 47 days adrift at sea, only to be captured as a prisoner of war. He had to endure severe abuse and starvation for nearly 2 years. He exemplified perseverance by maintaining hope and inner strength through captivity and hardship. These incredible humans show us that even faced with the worst of conditions, it is possible and necessary even to cling to hope. Most of us will never have to endure such horrific circumstances, but every single one of us will be faced with trials. Death of loved ones, sickness, poverty, or even just sadness or despair in general. They're all part of life. When we find ourselves in less than ideal circumstances, how do we look up to the stars instead of getting stuck in the mud? The key is to choose what to focus on. Even amidst suffering, you can find joy. Negative emotions do have their purpose, but we want to learn from them, not dwell on them. When you find that your life circumstances seem a little muddy, here are some small steps you can take to find the stars. Gratitude journaling. I've come up with a simple way to discover patterns of people or things in your life that can give you hope. I call it the JOT journal. JOT stands for just one thing. Every day for 30 days, write down just one thing at the end of the day that made you feel some kind of positive emotion. It could be something that made you smile, a person, a kindness shown to you, something beautiful or inspiring from nature, a favorite song, a delicious treat, anything. There are no wrong answers, and no one is going to check your work. Here are some prompts to get you started. What's one thing that made you smile or laugh? Who did something kind for you today? What did they do? What made you feel calm today? What made you feel excited or energized? Did you eat something delicious? Or see something beautiful? Did you do something fun? The goal in noticing and keeping track of these little glimmers of hope each day is to build a reservoir of resources. You'll have memories of joyful moments, a list of people that you can turn to for support, as well as things that make you smile. In other words, things that bring you positive emotions. This reservoir of resources can help you change your perspective to focus on the stars rather than the mud. I've come up with an acronym to remember that change is an action you have control over and is actually what we are seeking. Remember, to change is to choose hope and notice God everywhere. And if you find it a little difficult to recognize where God shows up in your life, start by seeing good, which can help you discover how and where God is influencing you and those around you. Fredrickson's broaden and build theory shows us that as we focus on developing positive emotions and noticing what turns our focus to these things, it creates an upward spiral of positive emotions which broadens our minds, our capacity to notice the good, and builds personal resources and skills. These simple steps will show you that you are not alone, you are not empty-handed, and the circumstances you find yourself in are not permanent. You were sent to this earth with strengths to use for your own good as well as others, and weaknesses to develop, to learn and grow. It is a process, and the process takes time, a whole lifetime, in fact. Other ways you can use jot journaling is to create momentum with goals you want to achieve. You might be overwhelmed by the big picture and not sure how to get started. Or you may be attempting something grand like training for a marathon or pursuing a college degree. Whatever this big picture is, remember jot. Just one thing. Start with just one thing. It really doesn't even matter what you do, just that you do something. Choose just one thing to do and then write it down. You can use a calendar or on a sheet of notebook paper, maybe even a special jot journal if you'd like. This can motivate you in several ways. First, it gives you accountability. It will serve as a reminder to yourself to do just one thing a day. It also gets you started on that overwhelming task. Many times, the first step is the hardest one to take. Doing just one thing is often the action needed to get the ball rolling. Once you do just one thing, the next one seems much easier, and you might even be excited to keep going. It can generate momentum, which can help you accomplish much more than you first expected. Just one thing a day can create incredible change. When you're feeling overwhelmed, know that you were never meant to do this alone. Remember jot. Look for just one thing that makes you smile or that brings positive emotions into your life. Reach out to those around you. They may be struggling too, and together you can make each other stronger. You can replace that darkness with light. While you can't always choose your circumstances, you can always choose your focus by remembering change. Choose hope and notice God everywhere.